to the EUROCRYPT. There is no escape from this EUROCRYPT. Mama Fucci, Argento and more, black love killers and goblins score, vampires hunt their nightly feast, lurking monsters are released. But beyond screen in a sepia dream, melancholy miles downstream, no one's safe or so it seems. Worlds unravel at the seams. You have fallen into the EUROCRYPT. There is no escape from this EUROCRYPT.
All right.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, man. Well, we're back, man, with episode 4 of the EUROCRYPT. We got CK with us today, man. We're going to talk some Spanish horror.
That's
What's going
right.
on, man?
I'm looking forward to it, man. Yeah, a couple of these movies I had never seen before, but one that I'd been wanting to rewatch for a long time and finally got to. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to talking to you guys about some Spaniard horror.
Yeah, man. We got
back
Horror Rises from the Tomb, 1973. We're going to get nasty with Nashy. And then then you got this was one that really tripped me out, Anguish. CK had mentioned, and I was like, well, that's a Spanish horror. Like, I think we had talked about, I forget how it came about, but
I think I heard CK on the Dead Pit podcast going back years ago, liking this film. And like when we mentioned we were going to do the Spanish thing, I thought ideal would be to get CK.
Yeah, it'd been, I think Uncle Bill had got the Anchor Bay DVD years and years and years ago, like whenever that came out. And that's one of those movies that kind of sticks with you a little bit. Yeah. And it'd been many years since I'd seen it. And I was like, well, hell, I want to get a copy of that, right? And the DVDs are out of print and going for crazy amounts of money. And I did find a Blu-ray of it, which we'll talk about that when we get to the movie. But it wasn't the perfect way to watch it, but, you know, it was good enough.
Yeah, and then the last one we got Faceless, or, you know, this is Jess Franco joint with Bridget LaHaye. And I think that's the one Darren had brought up. He wanted to cover. So
yeah, I'd never seen this one, believe it or not. And I've always heard pretty decent things about it.
I mean, I do like the.
Go
ahead.
I was going to say this is an ideal place to, like, you know, watch it, really.
Oh, yeah. I like the alternate title, though, The Predators of the Night. You know, I don't know. But,
yeah, that works. Yeah.
I just heard Stephen Thrower talking about it. He was like, Faceless is a god-awful name. And I was like, well, I don't know, man. I like Faceless.
I like the name, yeah.
It don't bother me.
How easy was that one to... Like, I know Severin came out with it a couple of years ago, but how easy was it to find before that? Do you guys know?
Yeah.
I've got the old DVD of it.
Okay.
And it's like packed. I'm trying to think what company it was now. But I've had that for years and just sat on it because I don't know, for some reason, it's just one I've never got round to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was fairly accessible, you know, back, you know, a few years back.
Yeah.
But it was a region one as well.
But yeah, man. I guess we'll get started, man, with some Paul Naschy.
Nasty Paul, yeah.
Horror Rises from the Tombs, man, 1973. He made 10 films this year, by the way. And,
10.
Damn,
yeah,
he's a busy man, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, and he banged this producer came to him and was like, "Look, I got money, I got finances to make this, make a horror film, but I need a script." And so he banged the script out in 48 hours. He stayed up on amphetamines and he fucking wrote a script.
I think it shows, to be honest. Like,
I was like, holy shit, man. But yeah, you can definitely tell.
Well, and this one is on Tubi, right? That's how I watched it, so I didn't have the physical copy.
It's on YouTube as well.
Was it on YouTube?
Yeah, but
picture quality on this is really good too. Like I'm guessing somebody did do a Blu-ray of it at some point because it looked really, really good on Tubi.
That's the rip I was watching because I got it off a website, like Realist, the website. But it looks amazing. I got to give it that. The actual release, the Blu-ray release, is amazing.
Right, but man, so like I said, Paul Naschy wrote it, but the director's Carlos Orid, and he worked with him like on 4 other films as well. He did Blue Eyes of the Broken Doll, and I can't think of the other 3, but anyway, it's over the top, sleazy, cheesy. You know, he's a big fan of Universal horror films. You can tell he played all the Universal monsters in some way, except I don't think he ever played the creature from the Black Lagoon. But he's played Quasimodo. He's played.
Well, he must not have been a fan of Creature because he certainly had opportunity. If he's making 10 fucking movies a year,
right.
He's just not he's more of a Wolfman fan, evidently.
He loved the Wolfman for some. but yeah, man, this one is kind of like paying homage to Black Sunday, Night of the Living Dead, and the thing that wouldn't die from 1958.
Right. Yeah.
So but I mean, I don't know. I crack up when I watch it. I don't know. You got to have an acquired taste for Nash. I think
it's got a good atmosphere to it. Beautifully made movie.
Yeah.
The first part of it's set in what is it, the 15th century or something like that.
Right.
And is he a warlock in this one, Paul Naschy?
Yeah, he's a warlock, and he's got a witch lover, right? And she's been in several films as well. Helga Linnea, she's beautiful too. I mean,
the opening shot actually, she goes topless straight away.
Yeah, she's cursing them.
We all appreciate that.
Yeah, she's cursing them all like in Black Sunday, you know, at the beginning. But yeah, man.
So they're like he's killed off, like the warlock character beheaded or whatever, and they take his girl out as well, the witch. And then we fast forward to, well, we would say present day, but this was 1973.
Yeah. and you know, they curse the descendants. So you get right away, you see Paul Naschy playing 2 roles, right? Like he's like the evil brother, like what's his name? Alaric D. Marnak.
I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce these names.
I was going to say, I think he even plays 3 parts, doesn't he? I think
he plays 3 altogether, but at the very beginning of the film, he's playing 2 characters.
Right.
The one that's accusing him and judging his ass, and then.
Now, Dirk, you may know. I mean, did the Spanish people just demand like Paul Naschy in multiple roles in every movie or something, or what was it just because he was the one making it and he's like, oh, I'll do it. The people love me.
I don't know the backstory on that, but I know he's always with the chicks, no matter what.
Well, of course, you got to do that. I mean, I don't blame him for that one at all.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's the unlikeliest sex symbol you'll ever see, though, you know? It's crazy. And he wears like a wig piece as well, I'm sure.
But his facial expressions, they crack me up, especially in this one. He's just, when he's, you know, charming the women. He's supposed to be like a vampire warlock, I guess, or something, but, you know.
Right.
We're not real clear. It's incoherent as hell. You know,
right.
Really,
I do know at some point the descendants decide to have a seance for some reason. What did they explain that, or is it like, oh, what the hell? Let's have a fucking seance here.
Yeah, they're all like, yeah, look, we're gonna have a seance today, and y'all can come along, you know.
I gotta say, that's never happened to me. I've never just walked in and like, oh, let's just go ahead and do a seance.
I guess in the 70s that was a thing to do. I don't know, because you see
it's
that
like
shit
they
in a
got
lot of these movies, right?
Yeah, they got like a checklist, I'm sure, some of these films where we'll add a seance, we'll add, you know, this, we'll add that. They even do the zombie thing, don't they, later on? Probably, I'm guessing that would have been off Night of the Living Dead, maybe, you know, trying to get some kind of interest in the film.
Well, the zombie siege scene definitely is from Night of the Living Dead. You know, when the zombies come in the house and shit.
I got to put that over to. I thought that was pretty effective and looked good and everything. And this was 73, so this was just a few years removed from Night of the Living Dead. And some of the visuals in this I think is the strongest parts of the movies or the movie. And one thing that stuck out like a sore thumb, though, I don't know if you guys thought this, and normally I appreciate dubbing because I hate reading movies. Like I've said it numerous times over the years.
Yeah.
But the dubbing in this is fucking awful. Like it's probably some of the worst voiceover.
Yeah. It's part of the charm, though, for me. I laugh my ass off at the dialogue, some of the shit they're saying, you know, like that one scene where the guy's talking about, he's talking about going through the town and the kids were throwing rocks at him and shit. I was like, but they done cut the cord, the lines, and the whole town's screwed up, you know. I mean, it's fun, man. It's a fun one for me, but, you know, I can see a lot of people not really digging it, but.
It didn't do a lot for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they kind of, what I found with it, obviously, I like the nudity. There's lots of like sleaze in this. But about the hour mark, it's like they must have thought, oh, we got like a bad film on our hands because they like chuck like 4 naked women in a row. Like there's like 5-10 minutes just full of that, which I appreciated. But and the zombie stuff, like CK said, it's well done. I'll give it that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Emma Cohen, who plays Elvira, right? You know, I mean, she's been in other films. The Cannibal Man from 1972.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
And she's in The Glass Ceiling, which I haven't seen that one. It's a genre.
I've seen that one as well. It's okay. I think that's getting a release, actually. Yeah, soon.
But I mean, they got some beautiful women in here. So if you like gothic Spanish horror, or if you've never seen any Paul Nashies, this is one of his better ones. Like, I don't know if that's saying.
Oh man, that doesn't say too much.
I don't have like a lot of experience with Paul Nashies stuff, but I will say I think it's slightly better. And we were talking about this one. This is my Paul Nashi physical media collection right here. Okay. I think this is the only ones that I've got that BCI did probably 18 years ago or longer.
What's that one?
This is a double feature of Night of the Werewolf and Vengeance of the Zombies.
Okay.
From BCI. Again, what was the year on this? Like 2018, I think. I mean, 2008, I think, was when this one came out. But
those covers are great, man. I love the covers.
Yeah, so I was kind of drawn to the artwork there, but just not my sort of thing. I can understand, you know, good atmosphere and everything in these movies. Great special effects in certain areas too. In Horror Rises from the Tomb, there's a severed head of Nashi that, for the time frame, looks freaking amazing, man. Like I don't know if they just spent like a lot of the budget on that severed head or what. He wanted to keep it afterwards. But yeah, even in HD in 2024, looks pretty damn good. You know.
You gotta laugh at when they do when he actually does his head for real in the one scene, and you can just tell he's just stood up in a box. It's like that.
Yes, he's got that pedestal thing where his head's just there, and he's watching everybody around him and shit, and his body's below.
I got a clip, y'all. So here goes.
That is crazy, man.
That's where the Undertaker got his sit up from. Was Paul Nashi.
Right. But I forgot to play this one too. I got one more, man. All right, here we go. I should have played it. I'm kind of ass backwards today, but
I put a curse on you, Armand de Marnac, my despicable brother, or I shall be back. I'll be back.
May you be damned, for all eternity be damned. Our bodies may be destroyed, but our avenging spirits will persecute you forever.
She told them.
Right.
This one, with this one, I thought I'd never seen it before, and then I was watching it, and I kind of had like a little bit of deja vu towards the end. So I looked up on Letterboxd, and evidently I'd seen it before, and I just erased it completely from my mind. I didn't remember a thing about it.
That's the effect Paul Nashi movies have on
exactly.
Darren.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that score with the organ and all? Yeah,
Oh God, yeah.
it's a little overbearing, but you know, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, for what it is, if you're into the gothic horror stuff,
I dig it a lot.
yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand why people would like it. But yeah, I mean, not really my sort of thing. I didn't hate it,
Yeah,
but it was just one of those deals where it was something cool to have on in the background, I guess. Right? At least I didn't have to read it.
and a lot of these actors you'll see in a lot of Spanish horror films, like Helga Linnea. She's been in a lot of Italian stuff too, like Nightmare Castle from 1965, and So Sweet, So Perverse, Red Rings of Fear, The Vampire's Night Orgy. And,
Oh, that sounds like a good one.
yeah, and Death Will Have Your Eyes.
That's one I've got. Actually, I've never seen. I think it's a Spanish giallo.
Yeah,
74, I think. So,
but yeah, I'd say if you're gonna watch it for her more than anything.
I would say, yeah, if you like naked, like European women, then yeah, this might be for you. But in terms of an overall story and film, I don't know, it just didn't do nothing for me, really.
Right.
It's all atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of scenes that look like a painting come to life. So if you're into that sort of thing, you know, I think it's well made. The zombies in it, like we were saying earlier, look kind of cool, especially considering the time frame. You know, 73 before. I mean, there was only Night of the Living Dead as far as the modern zombies go at that point in time. So that was kind of cool. And you know, if you like Paul Nash, he's got 3 different roles in it. So.
Yeah, and this one has a little bit of everything if you think about it. I mean, you got people getting killed with axes and like a sickle, and you know, I mean, got the black magic element to it, and
yeah, there is a sequel to this which we didn't talk about.
Yep.
Evidently, he reprises the. I don't know. You can pronounce the name. I don't know. I can't do it. I'm from Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, a lark de Marnac.
Sure. And Panic Beats, which
Panic
I have heard of that one.
1982, right?
I've heard of that one, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, so I need to check it out just to see, you know. But
yeah, I think it's out for sure, at least on DVD, because I think we may have got it back in the day. I remember the name. So
yeah. Well, I guess we'll come on to your pick, CK. Anguish.
Do you want to give it a rating first, though?
Yeah, I guess we can. I mean, if y'all want to. I mean, me,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I'm not insane to say this is a masterpiece.
Well, 8 to 10 or 5?
No, 3.5 out of 5.
oh shit, really?
Maybe 6.5. Yeah, 6.5.
Oh God, I wasn't expecting that. No,
6.5 out of 10.
For me, it's a 3 out of 10 at best, and I think
3. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the women, I suppose.
I would give it I would do a 4. I would do a 4 out of 10. I think I liked it just a little bit more than Darren.
Right.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I know it's not. My wife's looking at me like cross-eyed when I'm watching shit like that. So you know.
Oh, I don't watch. I make sure my wife's not around when I put shit like that on, because with some of these movies, you don't know what the hell's in there, man. Like, did I ever tell you the story about? I started watching that Pasolini bio movie, the guy that directed Salo. Willem Dafoe plays Pasolini. So I was like, oh, you know, this will be interesting, right? I shit you not, within the first 5 minutes, there's some pornographic material.
Oh, damn.
Man on man.
Shit.
And my wife looked at me and was like,
What the
hell is this? So that broke me. I've got to know exactly what's on this shit, or I'll wait until she goes to bed.
Yeah, I got you.
She thought you were trying to tell her something by putting that on. Oh, man.
Yes. I was like, oh, fuck. No, I'm turning this shit off. And I sold that on eBay, so it's somebody else's problem.
No, these films you can't watch on the bus or when you're at work or anything like that, because like you say, you just don't know what's going to crop up. Like some of them, the nudity and that. But
yep, got to be careful. But this one, Anguish from 1987, Spanish filmmaker by the name of Big Ass Luna. That's what I'm going to call it, because that's what
Big ass Luna.
Big ass Luna. Yeah. Zelda Rubinstein and Michael Lerner starring in this. And this is a movie that I was trying to look it up. I know it didn't do well box office wise in the US. I don't even know if it had had a theatrical release. There's not a whole lot of info out there about this movie.
It's not. I did find an interview with the director, though. And he was basically talking about he uses a lot of symbolism in his films.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that silence is the original and that words are the copy. So he meant, like, I guess, you really got to,
That's deep. That's
my wife didn't
shit.
like this movie at all. Like, I already knew, like, that shit.
Yeah.
She's like, this is stupid. I was like, no, it ain't. It's really not. Like,
Y'all have an argument about it.
Around it, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. I mean, basically, the story starts off Zelda Rubinstein and Michael Lerner, it's mother and son, living together. She's overly protective of her fully grown son, like he's probably, in his 40s at least in this movie.
Yeah.
Probably older than that.
She's got to be in her 50s because, I mean, in the movie, as far as the...
Yeah, their real age is not... I don't think they're that far apart to where they could...
Right. Yeah.
But she does look older, I guess.
Yeah, she's 49 when she did Poltergeist, so...
Yeah, that's insane. But, yeah, so, like, she's, like, overly protective. She's also, like, an animal lover, hardcore. Like, she collects snails. She has, like, a snail pet collection, I guess, and birds and all this weird shit in her house.
Yeah.
And she's also into, like, hypnosis as well. And the people that, like, I think her son works in a doctor's office, optometrist.
Like orderly,
yeah.
Like an optometrist type.
Yeah. And yeah, all of the clients and stuff are kind of mean to him and complain about him and everything. And the mother, they just call her mother. I don't think they give her an actual name in this.
No, just mother. Yeah.
Puts him under like a hypnosis to where he goes and takes out these people that are mean to him and collects, I guess he collects their eyeballs throughout most of the there's two parts of this because the first 20 minutes or so, it's all Michael Lerner and Zelda Rubinstein's character. They're building that up or whatever. And just out of nowhere, we realize, or we see that we're watching a movie that's in a movie.
Right. At about the 22-minute mark. Then you get, but before that even happens, we get, this is kind of a little clip I got of it. So, check this out.
Feel it, it makes you strong. Feel it, it makes you strong. Feel it makes you strong. You're with Mother now. You want to go back, don't you? Mommy will open her door. See the eye. Slowly, my baby.
Her voice alone could freak somebody out.
It does, man. And that's funny because I was watching it with Tasha, and I made her watch it with me. And she got to about an hour in, and she gave up. She walked out the room. And she's like, but before we started watching it, I talked her into it because I told her, I said, Zelda Rubinstein's in it. She's like, but she scared the shit out of me when I was a kid,
Yeah. And they give her more to do in this one, too, than Poltergeist, really. She's just more or less a background player in that. But I guess off the success of Poltergeist, she got this role here. And then, did she do much else? I know she probably had some smaller roles.
She did that. Yeah, smaller roles, exactly. She did that movie with Chevy Chase, that Under the Rainbow.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She did. I got a couple of her things down here. Let's see. I got her, of course, most notable role was Poltergeist, but she was in Under the Rainbow. And she was like a big human rights activist for little people, and HIV and AIDS and shit.
That's interesting because, like, I mean, she's definitely smaller.
Yeah.
But, like, would you consider her, I mean, like is dwarf okay to say? I don't even know. Is that
Midget?
Yeah, I know you can't say that anymore, Dirk.
You can't
It's like some kind of generic sort of thing gone wrong with her.
Little
I think,
person.
you know?
Right, but she's not technically like, the who's the Warwick Davis or somebody like that. I'm thinking that she's more along the lines of Deep Roy from Neverending Story, where he's just a small person. There's not literally anything. I thought that was the case with her, but maybe not. Maybe she is.
I didn't realize that either, but then I got to reading about her and I was like, oh shit. And then, but she was also the organist in 16 Candles. So
She was in Teen Witch as well. Fat Pig the Conqueror mentioned here. I forgot that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's an
But
interesting
the character in this as well is almost like the same as Poltergeist, really, the way she talks at times. And like, so I've not seen too much of her, but I wondered if that's just the way she is. She just plays herself in every role, you know. But she's superb. I think the two, like, I think everyone does a good job, but her and her son mainly, like, superb in the roles.
Yeah, Michael Lerner. Or go ahead.
Yeah, amazing.
The one thing I remember. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to just say amazing performance. Go on, you're okay.
The one thing I mostly remember him from is National Lampoon's High School Reunion. That's the one
that's
film.
the slasher parody, isn't it?
Yeah.
1982, I believe. Yeah,
I grew up watching that shit, you know.
He was also in, I think it was him that was in Omen 4, The Awakening, and
he was, yeah.
There is a hilarious fucking scene that you can probably just easily pull up on YouTube of him in that movie. That's all I'll say. I don't want to give it away, but it's like the same fucking guy that did Halloween 5, I think, did Omen 4.
Oh,
but
damn.
this movie here, I think that it's one of those movies that when somebody re-releases this, it's going to find a whole new audience.
I think so.
There's a lot of people that don't know what this movie is. Nobody's referenced it. It's been out of print for at least 10 years or longer. I think Blue Underground did a DVD of it last, but it's been a long out of print. Yeah.
It's I've had this, it must be about 15 years or something.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a physical copy, but it's one that's it's open for interpretation too. I would definitely say.
Oh yeah, we'll get into it. This one right here is on Amazon. It is the French Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Which odds are, I mean, the picture quality on it's okay and everything, and I'd be fine with it if it wasn't for. They've got the English audio, right? But when you click English audio, it is forced French subtitles. So that's my only issue with it.
Yeah.
And just the shitty mastering in it. There's no way to take those subtitles off. But other than that, this is like $23 on Amazon. And it's, other than that, I mean, I'm fine with it. But yeah, word of warning.
I don't know what the rights issue is, but surely like someone's going to bring this out in a great edition because it's got like a cult following now. Whereas, like you say, the people who do know it do actually love the film. Because Dirk was saying earlier on Letterboxd, all the reviews.
Yeah, there's great
really good.
Across the board reviews on this film. And when it came out, it was a $2 million budget, but made like a little over 200,000.
I can see, I can see Severin or Vinegar Syndrome or one of those companies like that getting it.
Yeah.
But the second half of the movie, though, the movie within the movie follows these two girls who are friends. I thought they were sisters at first, but I think they were just friends.
Yeah.
And they're watching the movie. One of them is getting really freaked out by the movie and wants to leave and keeps complaining and bitching. It's like, oh, this is really scary. I want to get out of here or whatever.
Yeah, she's just complaining and her eyes start hurting and shit, right?
Yeah. And we're following them, and it's going back and forth between the movie, then the movie within the movie. And there's scenes in the old movie, I think they call it the old movie and the new movie in the credits, where they're in a movie theater too. So it's schizophrenically put together in a lot of ways, where you're like, God damn, bulls, what in the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
It can get confusing,
Yeah,
but
what's
ultimately,
happening in the film is happening in reality
Yeah.
as well. And then it's like almost like the characters in the film can see the people in the audience.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's what
like a
I got. I
mirror
don't know.
image type thing with the story going on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's a film that came out a few years back called The Last Matinee, and
Yeah.
it's almost like a remake of this. Pretty
You
much
know,
exactly the same story. I know it doesn't quite do certain things the same with the
well,
two stories, but
yeah.
yeah, man, I was surprised.
mhm.
And when they do the 20 minutes in, and you do get the two things going side by side, I think it's just works so well. Do you think Demons was obviously an influence with this as well?
I think so. I mean, that's the only thing that I could think of at the time that was kind of similar. Ultimately, there's a killer who I think they say he's a fanatic of the movie The Mommy, which is
Yeah,
what the movie is that they're watching, and comes in there. And this was big in the '80s too. Silencers on like guns, and he was like going to town
yeah,
killing people and shit.
Right.
And then, yeah, both of the movies go back and forth, and it's kind of frenetically put together, but it works in a lot of ways.
There's
It
another.
does feel like an Italian horror movie, though. I
Yeah, it
it
mean,
does.
does. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
There's another film that we reviewed not long ago called Closed Circuit,
right. That's a
and
good one as well.
it's a lot like this movie. Not exactly, but things in the film itself's actually killing people in the audience. It's weird.
That's what I think Lamberto Bava got that idea from Closed Circuit, and then
Yeah,
obviously it's
because
influenced
it came
other
out in the
films.
'70s, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's a good one too. But you got to read that one though. Like,
I'll tell you another one that we took a look at last year, and it was probably one of, I think it is John Carpenter's last great movie, was the cigarette burns entry that he had
yeah,
in
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Masters of Horror.
pretty good.
I think that would be a good one for somebody to, if you're wanting to remake and make it like a feature length version of that. That would be a cool one to do.
Definitely.
I think they do a similar scene in He Knows You're Alone as well at the start of the film, where you find out that they're watching an actual film on screen, which we actually think is going to be the film itself. So it's been done a few times, but I mean, in this one, I'm just surprised, like you say, that this hasn't, been a bigger film, really.
Yeah, there must be some sort of issue with the rights, because I think Ken Carlson mentioned here that Blue Underground, they mentioned that they don't have the rights to it anymore. Big ass Luna, maybe he's trying to be difficult. I don't know. I have no idea. But I mean, I could definitely see a very small cult fan base for this one, but it would grow for sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
The
Yeah.
Severin, a lot of Severin fans, Vinegar Syndrome fans, check it out. But yeah, I mean, it'd been many years since I'd seen this. Like I was telling you guys before, Uncle Bill had the DVD, which Anchor Bay originally did probably 23 or 24 years ago. And it was one of those movies that kind of stuck with me a little bit. And I'm like, oh, I need to get that. And the price was just, if you're wanting to see it, can you guys watch it online anywhere for free? I wouldn't advise
Yeah,
paying $35, $40 for the DVD at this point.
yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking realistic, probably you could download a copy on there.
Yeah.
I just lucked out with the DVD, but I mean, I can honestly see this getting a release, pretty
Oh,
soon
yeah.
as well. There's a scene towards the end which I thought was superb as well, with the girl when she imagines the killer is basically comes from the screen and goes to attack her.
Mhm.
I mean, man, but it's all in her imagination as well. I was
Or
like,
is it?
or is it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
so
it's
many
like you
questions.
don't know. And then also
Right.
the bird scene at the beginning where it gets trapped between the wall.
Yeah,
The way they
Yeah.
filmed that too.
That is really damn good.
Mhm.
Cinematography and just the way the whole thing's done. She's like, don't hurt the bird, but kill the piece of shit humans, Like,
right.
but
And there's no mystery either, is it? Because
Be careful.
Yeah.
Careful.
right, taking
Yeah.
their damn eyeballs. Like, what do you think this film is saying? Like, what do you think it's about? The whole or do you just let it?
I just think it's
Gotta
about
let
a
it-
psychopath who obviously got a love for a certain movie and takes it too far. Like, I don't think there's too much to read into it, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, it's up for interpretation, however you want to look at
Right.
it.
Yeah.
The movie, though, man, is very well done. Could you imagine? Like, I was thinking about this, editing that fucking movie. Could you imagine? Like, I would have
Yeah.
no idea where to
Yeah.
get started with that, because
Really
especially
within
towards
a-
the middle of the movie too. It's like, oh my god. I think it's one of the cases too where this movie was a bit ahead of its time, and that may be why. And it kind of got lost in the shuffle too, because this was 1987. There was all kinds of stuff. Even if this was like a direct video release or whatever, which I think it mainly was here in the U.S. You know, there's so much to choose from at the time. If you look at the marketing behind it, the VHS tape doesn't look too appetizing, right? So, I mean, there's a couple of factors that may have led to the fact that not everybody knows this movie at this point.
Let me catch the chat right quick. I haven't even. I've abandoned the chat all the way. Just go through a few people here. We got Adrian James here. What's going on?
What's up,
Dan
man?
Shine.
What's going on?
Hey,
What's going on, man? Talking about some Nashy during Halloween season. Cinephile Sanity. Sean.
Sean in the
Happening,
house.
man?
Yep.
Texas. Yeah.
What's up, Tex?
What's happening, man? I've seen that. I'm not trying to skip everybody, but there's no way I can go through all this right quick. Let's see. I see Jimmy says we got Fat Pig the Conqueror. You mentioned.
Yeah, that's Kenneth. That is top man.
Jimmy says the eye thing is rooted in Spanish and Italian culture. There was a belief that if someone took your eyes in the afterlife, you would be blind. Okay. I was like, I know I might be kind of far fetched here, but I was thinking like that the film itself is alive, and they're having to have people watch it so they can continue to be alive in the minds of people and shit. I don't know. Maybe
Well, there's a scene in the movie too that, where they seemingly hypnotize the audience,
right.
Yeah.
as well. So, I mean,
There's a lot going
that could be
on.
part of it.
Yeah, it's pretty out there.
Yeah, and the hypnotized scenes too with her voiceover and everything. Now, that's some truly terrifying shit,
It is.
right?
Yeah.
If they ever were to do a Blu-ray or a 4K or whatever of this, I would love to see that just edited like it was out of the movie, so you could experience that for real. And
I'd love to see this in the theater.
yeah,
To get that whole experience. She's
Oh,
talking
man.
about the
Yeah.
blood in your head goes to your heart and all this shit. Like, what
I would imagine though, like if there's 35mm prints of this, there's very, very few of them.
Yeah.
Probably very difficult. I mean, you could watch it on, they re-release it on Blu-ray or whatever. You could do the digital version that way. But yeah, does anybody know? I mean, I didn't see anything about a theatrical release here in the U.S., so I don't
I
know.
don't think
I'm
so.
not really sure because I mean,
I've never heard
you're the
about
one
this
really
film.
brought
Like
it up. So to me, and I've heard of it, and I always mixed it up with Angst, which is another one. I know.
That's a German one, yeah. I've heard of this going back, 10, 15 years ago. But before that, I don't think it had any kind of UK release on VHS or anything. Which surprises me a bit,
It's
Matt,
interesting.
can you imagine this in 4K? It'd be
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely. This is one of those movies that, and I'm usually pretty picky about buying stuff right when it comes out, but I would totally throw down the full price to get this in 4K. Severin or Arrow or whoever.
I definitely would, man.
Even
This
Scream
one-
Factory, I would probably give them money if they were to do it. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't be
absolutely.
happy
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, I mean, whoever would just strike up a deal with old Big Ass Bulls, it'll make a bunch of people happy.
Yeah, as long as Scream Factory don't get it, I'll be all right.
The thing is
Yeah.
with this one as well, I'm not going to give anything away about the ending, but the last 15 or 20 minutes, it completely throws it like a 180 as well, because something else happens on. Oh man, I think it's one of the best endings. Would
I
you
think
call
it's-
this a slasher though?
Yeah,
Would you say, yeah?
I'd say
But
it's a slasher,
I think
but
it's
it's also
a little bit better
psychological.
than Go on.
It's psychological as hell, but it's also a slasher. And then like there's so much when on repeat viewings because I started watching it. I didn't get to finish the second watch, but I noticed like you start noticing more in the second. And that's with any film, but I'm just saying like the birds in the cage, right? And then you got the snails and
Yeah.
like there's a like.
Those
So I was
birds
looking
are
up shit
hungry.
on snails and how it's in the shell, right? And then he
Right.
comes out of the shell, kind of like her son. He's in solitary. He's like a solitary kind of person, and then he gets out of his shell. And I don't know, man. There's some weird, deep shit going on.
It's definitely one of those too. You can rewatch it numerous times and probably get new shit from it. Now, as far as the unveil of the killer, which is pretty early on, right? Do you think that they should have like waited a little longer with that and make it kind of a mystery on who this is, or no?
I was gonna say, there's obviously no mystery. We know the two killers from the start.
Yeah, for this one,
pretty much from the start, anyway. But
yeah, for this one, I think it works for because there's the film itself's a mystery. You're like, what in the absolute shit exactly is happening here? And that's what like my wife, she just couldn't deal with it. She's like, this don't even make no sense. And like, it's like.
I think it works better knowing, like, because we see the killer early on in the theater as well, because he's kind of fidgety and jumpety. But yeah, I think it works better like that than to have someone in a mask or just someone we don't know. I think it does work to its advantage. Yeah.
But so I watched the interview with Big Ass Luna, and he said that he got the idea he went to a film lecture. And the guy that was speaking was talking about Hitchcock's Rear Window. And that's where he got the idea was like, he said, it's a film in which the spectator's mind moves into the character's mind, who is also watching a film. There's an attempt to create a second screen, another dimension to that story. So that was kind of like,
that's interesting. Yeah.
From the lecture, I guess it sparked something in his brain.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that would work way better if you did get to see it in a theater.
Definitely. I think it's way more effective, right? And the mirror, it's like a mirror concept too.
Right. I even like the closing credits too, how they did the closing credits in the movie too, where you're basically sitting in a movie theater, you see people start to get up, and then the credits roll on the
it's great
theater screen that they're at.
A movie within a movie within a movie, and then we're watching that shit. So.
Yeah. I was gonna say, right?
It's meta as hell, right?
Yeah. So they had a remake. They had to go ahead for a remake in 2009, and it was by the writer of When a Stranger Calls. I presume it's the remake of When a Stranger Calls. Would you have liked to have seen that go ahead? Because I was reading as well back in the winter of 2022, so a couple of years ago. They had like the go ahead, but I haven't heard nothing since. So how would you feel about this being remade? But because to me, I think it's already been remade in The Last Matinee, like I mentioned earlier. But
The Last Matinee is not. Have you seen that one, CK?
No.
Okay.
Well, man, you gotta see that.
That's just a straight up killer, though, right? He's not.
Yeah, but he's doing the eyeball thing as well, which
he's cutting eyeballs out too. But what I'm saying is like he's not in a film, though. You know what I mean?
No.
He's killing people in a theater and locked.
Yeah, I think it's close enough to be, not proper remake, but kind of an unofficial remake.
But this would be one that could be studied and analyzed. Like I could see like it's definitely my type of film, and it's just.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd highly recommend if you guys checking this out or never seen it, track it down. I can say if anybody's curious, if you can get past the French subtitles, this is region free, so it'll work on any Blu-ray player. And that's interesting too. Like you would think if there was some sort of rights hold up, there would be issues with it being region free, but no. I mean, any player, so you don't have to have a region free player or anything to check the Blu-ray out.
It's weird because I think it's just gone under the radar. That's what it is. It might not even be a rights issue.
I think the young actress is good too. Patty, the girl.
I
that
think the
plays
two
Patty.
of them, the two girls,
Yeah.
are excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like a horse wrangler, cowgirl, and also a tuba player for the damn Europe. She toured Europe in the Rochester Philharmonic Opera or some shit. Like her
Okay.
dad was an opera singer. I don't know, man. I was just reading stuff about her, but I felt like she could have been like Phoebe Cates or something during that time. Like I don't know. She didn't make many films though.
The two girls remind me a lot of demons. It like them being in the audience and cut. You know, it's got.
It's
that
filmed a
demon
lot of the
feel,
same way too. It seems like too. It looks you can almost edit those movies together in certain parts.
Right. Yeah.
And
So what ratings would you give it? Oh, sorry, if you got anything else to say, Dirk.
I just got one more thing. She the Patty girl though. She's a songwriter now, so she writes songs for films and musicians and stuff. But
the same track I was going to mention as well is pretty good for this.
The acting's great in this film as well. So
yeah, I mean everything was pretty spot on. Great production, well made, well acted. Yeah, I mean out of 5, I would probably give it a 4, solid 4 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm the same. I'll give it like 8 out of 10, which is basically the same.
Yeah, I give it a 4 or 8 out of 10, however you want to do it. But yeah, pretty solid. I'm definitely looking forward for a 4K release of this.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too much longer. Because I think that this is definitely one of those movies that could gain a whole new fan base of people. And yeah, if nobody's out there seen it, go and search for it, find it, check it out because it's a lot of fun. Definitely a great one to watch around this time of year too, I think.
But I will warn everyone who watches it: it's not going to spoon feed you shit. It's not going to spoon feed you nothing. So just be prepared.
Right. Yeah. You may need to watch it twice as well to get everything out of it. But yeah.
Right. But let's see. I think I had. Yeah, I already played that. Okay. All right. Sorry, man, if I'm ignoring the chat, y'all. Let's see.
You got a lot of people burning the chat up.
Yeah.
Today.
Appreciate everybody. Hit the like button. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate everybody coming by on a Sunday afternoon, baby.
Yeah, man. Down here in the EUROCRYPT in the dead pit. So.
That's right. Talking Spanish horror. Right? That's something that I don't think me and Uncle Bill's really talked a whole lot about. So,
well, you know, like the big ones, I like Tombs of the Blind Dead, right?
Yeah.
And would Manchester Morgue that's
it was made by a Spanish filmmaker for sure.
Yeah. That's Spanish horror as well. Yeah. So those are the big ones.
Bloody Moon as well is a big one, isn't it? Just
Franco.
I know we're going to talk a bit of Franco now.
But we're going to get on some Franco now, right? So
Jess Franco, man. Who's got a bigger filmography? Is it Christopher Lee or Jess Franco?
Yeah. Like they're still finding films of Franco.
Oh, shit. I was thinking about that today. I was like, God damn, I think everybody that has any sort of movie collection has at least 4 or 5 Jess Franco films in their collection. They have to. And
they might not even realize it.
Right. Right.
There's a guy in the chat called Dan Shine. CK's probably it, Dan.
Yeah.
I would imagine, I think he's got pretty much everything that's available on physical media because he's a big Franco fan for sure. Like.
Oh, wow. Franco, he's got an uncanny ability of finding some of the hottest fucking women of all time.
Yeah.
So I'll give him credit there. Like I was watching, wasn't Lorna the Exorcist? Wasn't that one of his that came out recently?
That's one me and you, we did a deal on.
Yeah, and some of the women in that, Jesus Christ. I salute him for sure.
Vampiros, Lesbos, a Bloody Moon, of course. That's a big one, right? But,
yeah, he did Venus in Furs as well. That's a good one.
And hold on, I got Count Dracula, of course, 1969, with Soledad Miranda and Klaus Kinski.
Didn't he like do the story on a couple of his films as well? Like the Dr. Orloff one was redone for
the
this.
awful Dr. Orloff is
Yeah.
It connects to the Faceless film that we're about to talk about anyway. So it's 1961. Right. It's a lot similar. It's similar to it, like the story.
He had a fixation with Dr. Orloff because that one back there is one of Jess Franco's movies too. The Sinister Eyes of Dr. Orloff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got several of them. What was that other one? I don't think I got it down here, but
dude, when it comes to Jess Franco's movies, I'm better just looking them up on IMDb because I can't, I know I've got a bunch of them. Severin released a shit ton of this stuff over the last 4 or 5 years.
David Gregory, because I talked to him at Texas Frightmare a few years back, and he said he bought a lot of his filmography.
He got them at closeout prices, probably.
Probably, yeah.
Let's be honest.
I would imagine, yeah.
Like, holy shit! Okay, you got a lot of Franco coming, but and that's a mix. It's a mixed bag, though. I mean, I don't. But I gotta say, I like more than I don't like of his stuff.
I'm probably the same. Yeah, I've only seen a handful, but most of them I guess something out of.
Yeah.
The one he did called Night of the Skull as well. I know Dirk wasn't a big fan of that one, but
that one I'm not big on.
I don't know. I like that.
But the reason during that time, for whatever, like the Spanish censors were cutting the shit out of it. They had a close-on version and a close-off version of films, and it was I don't know. Night of the Skull though is not the greatest Spanish giallo by no means. And he's kind of like Paul Naschy too. He'll pop up in the films as well, and he's like usually a sleazy ass character,
I mean, what do you think about the cast in this? It's insane when you look at it. The whole cast, like they're all bangers, all of them, really.
Yeah, I think it seemed like he may have had a pretty good sized budget to work with this one too, because a lot of his other movies that I'm familiar with, at least, seemed like on a very, very low budget side. And this one, man, this one looked great. Actually, very technically well done, and like you said, the cast in this as well. Telly Savalas is probably like one of the biggest names. Oh, God, even though you can totally tell, like they filmed that probably in 15 minutes in some office somewhere, like all of his shit. But still,
and he's on his own in all his scenes as well. So yeah, you can tell he's just in one room, or whatever. But
this was his biggest. This was his biggest budget since like the 60s. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
And the producer, Rene Chateau, it's French produced, but Franco's a Spanish director, so of course he's going to make it in here. But the producer Rene Chateau was Bridget LaHaye was his mistress.
Okay.
Yeah, he was married, but he was trying to make Bridget LaHaye a big superstar, and it just didn't ever pan out because of all the pornography she did.
Right. She'd done some naughty things in the past. I heard. I don't know, but I mean, I've heard.
Right. I mean, how hot is she in this, man? She looks, oh man. But there's something about her, like, she's not conventionally beautiful, but she's just got something about her.
Right.
So you can't really
mystique
put a finger
about
on
her, maybe.
Yeah, real calm, evil type of demeanor in this one.
Yeah.
So I just looked this up for the hell of it. 207 directorial credits for Jess Franco.
Yeah,
that's insane, man.
And I imagine there's even more that they haven't found.
There's probably lost films as well. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Didn't he used to make 3 films in all at the same time, and he just turned the camera and do another scene on another film?
He would have had to have.
He would film. He would be filming a movie, and he would tell the actor to turn another direction because he was using a lot of the same.
Right. Actors. Yeah.
He'd take him to somewhere else right while he was doing it, and tell him to turn a different way. It was for the other film that he was making.
Yeah. He's done like 3 in one go. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
There's stuff though, like he passed away in 2013, I think it said, and he made movies up until 2013. So there's all kinds of stuff like Severin could release, his last movie is Revenge of the Alligator Ladies. They could release a 4K of that coming up.
Oh hell.
Yeah.
Damn, I wonder what the hell's going
I
on
bet
there.
I bet
Is
Dan's
that made
seen
for
that.
Sci-Fi Channel or something?
I don't know. There's some of these that I have, like, or I had at one time, like Intervision, which this is Severin's, one of their labels. I think they still release stuff with this. They did a ton of Jess Franco stuff even back then. This DVD came out in 2010.
Right.
They did this one, and Paula was another one that they did. I'm looking on here. So all this shit, I'm sure, will get upgrades and re-releases at some point.
Yeah, I got the redemption release of Awful Dr. Orloff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot similar story as Faceless, but
There's one I've got called Nightmares Come at Night that I've never seen. That I got a DVD of his.
I also wanted to mention that the Awful Dr. Orloff is considered the very first Spanish horror film. So
Okay.
he's got that going for him.
So I recently picked up Bloody Moon. Would that be a good one to watch around Halloween?
Oh man,
that
I already
is
know, CK. I know you're gonna love that one.
Okay.
That's a good slasher.
That's
I feel
just
like
yeah, it is. It's basically like an early 80s slasher. That's what it is, with a guy in a Mickey Mouse mask. But don't let that put you off.
You sold me on it just now.
Yeah,
There's tons of like nudity and everything. Yeah,
it is, man. It's got some of the best gore scenes. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's
probably his best from what I've seen.
A lot of people consider it his
Killed
best
in
film.
Ecstasy as well. She Killed in Ecstasy is a good one, though.
With Faceless, though, this was 1988, but this is a loose adaptation of Eyes Without a Face, the French movie. And I was like, oh, this is very similar. And I looked it up. Yeah, it is. And Uncle Bill and I reviewed that one just a couple of months ago, I think.
That's a killer movie, man. That's a French film, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I read every bit of it. Yeah.
I have a copy of that. I have the Criterion of it, but there's another one that came like in the 30s called The Raven, and it's got Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff, and it's, you know, I think it's like the plastic surgery story or whatever, but I need to check it out. I haven't seen it, but I was reading about it. But yeah, man, this one here, sexploitation, exploitation, sleaze, like
some confusing shit in this too. I got a couple questions for you guys about some stuff in this.
Yeah.
I may have missed something, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
What do y'all think about the I gotta ask you about this score though, because I was jamming out to this song. I mean,
oh man.
Yeah, they reused that song like what, 80 times or something in this.
It's like a poor man's George Michael fucking song. Like,
well, he was popular, around 88 or so, I guess. That makes sense.
Okay, it is catchy and it is like reused a lot, but it does work.
Like Faceless Hearts Come Out at Night or what?
Yeah. It gives it a cheesy type feel. The whole opening as well, it opens at Christmas, doesn't it, in Paris? You know, when they're walking around, which I love. But it's cheesy. Yeah, it's cheesy, good fun. You know.
Carolyn Monroe in here.
Yeah, that's insane.
She's showing her age.
I saw her and I was like, is that Carolyn Monroe? Really? They got her in this? Because I didn't really look up anything about the movie until I started watching it.
This is like a year after Slaughter High as well, where she plays a teenager, which is crazy, man.
Right. You can see the crow's foot around her eyes and stuff in this one, you know.
She does still look nice, though. I've seen her.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, she does. She's showing her age, though, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But
could she pass as a famous model, though? I think she could have, maybe. Right. They touch up models' photos even back then.
Until
she played one in the last horror film, didn't she? Oh, she certainly played a model in Maniac. I know it's a good few years.
That was in 82, right? So.
Yeah, the last horror film, yeah.
And Telly Savalas is her dad or whatever in this one. So.
I know, yeah. So funny, like DK said, you can just tell he was given like 10 minutes.
They had like this office set, and it's probably somebody's real office.
Yeah.
And they like have Telly for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sure they paid some big money for that too. Like, you got to think, even then, right?
And all he seems to say is for that guy to get hold of him on an answer phone. He says that about 5 times during different scenes in the film.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
They probably don't even give him a script. They just give him an idea of what he wants to say, and there you go, you know.
Well, it's Kojak, man. You've got to give him what he wants. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Savala's going to steal the screen no matter what, any scene he's in. Well, what do you think about Christopher Mitchum?
Man, I hate him. I hate that actor, man. Everything I've seen him in.
So killer.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to make him out to be this action hero and stuff that I've seen him in. And he does all these karate chops and shit.
Yeah.
And I can't get off him at all, man.
I was talking to Dirk last night. I was watching. I was like, God damn, I fucking hate Christopher Mitchell.
Yeah,
He's so awful. And like everything that he's in. And we were talking about, we reviewed it on the show. We may have like a video version of it on YouTube. Rico, the Mean Machine.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
God,
oh man, he's awful.
The worst leading man of all time in that movie, I believe.
He really is.
He's like a hippie as well. He's got long hair in it, and he's doing all like he weighs nothing at all, and he's taking on all these guys, which he does actually in this funny scene in this one when he takes on that bodybuilder. Oh man, I was crying laughing.
He is such a conceited fucking guy too. Like if you watch any of his interviews or anything, like he said something like he was asked if he always wanted to follow in his father's footsteps or something like that, and he was like, I'll say this. We walk on the same beach, but I make my own footprints or something like that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, motherfucker?
That's the only reason they got him in these films is because of his father. You know, because he looks like similar, doesn't he? You know?
He does look like his father, but gosh, he doesn't have any of his father's acting ability at all.
I do got a clip though. I'll show of that you were just talking about, Darren. That
oh man, it's hilarious.
The nut shot. So
yeah.
Not my main, please. Come on, come on.
Shit,
oh
man.
The way he says come on, like it's so funny.
I'm like, what the hell? Why is that coming out of that big dude?
What about the flamboyant photographer that's in this too when Carolyn Monroe's kidnapped or whatever?
Yeah, man.
She took off with the most expensive piece of jewelry on the planet.
Yeah, man. Christopher Mitchum, he can just go to hell. I just don't.
Oh man, yeah,
fucking terrible.
Rico the Mean Machine would have been a good film without his ass.
He completely fucking ruined it, didn't he?
He ruins the movie, but
yeah,
I do like that Barbara Boucher scene on the car.
That's the only scene when she's on the bonnet of the car. That's the only scene you remember from that film.
I still have the DVD of that. Maybe I need to dig it out and sell it on eBay. I don't think it's been re-released, has it?
Yeah,
I don't believe so. No.
We were covering some Barbara Boucher, and we stumbled across that one. And
that's the only reason to watch that is Barbara Boucher.
It is.
Yeah. Christopher Mitchum. There's no reason to watch anything that he ever did at all. Although he's not in this movie very much, so definitely check this one out.
Yeah. Now, do you think what do y'all think about the gore in this film? Like, I know we haven't really.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it, Darren? You want to bring it up? This is kind of your pick on this one.
Yeah, like I think the gore effects are done really well. I've got it written down, the guy who did it. If I can find it in notes.
But like the hypodermic needles.
Oh god, that shot with the eye.
Yeah. I don't know how I have no idea how they did that.
I feel like that was
that's a real person as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like sticking the shot, it was like a needle sticking and you could see it from the side.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they did that.
I don't know. Crazy.
I feel like they kind of might have got that from Dead and Buried, maybe, you think?
Or,
possibly, yeah.
Because
I think it's been better in this, though.
A little bit more gruesome. And then the face transplant scene too. I'm sure that's one that you were talking about. That fucking great.
Yeah. And then they show the face to the person too. That was just like, holy shit! Like, look at your face. You know, it's like Then they
no, I mean this one. Like I really love Eyes Without a Face too.
Yeah.
So. I mean, if you like that movie, I would highly recommend it because You know, it's got that. You can add some more gore into it, some tits, just some hokey shit like we were,
It does get a little confusing at
It's-
first. You're thinking that they're a throuple.
I
You know,
I still think that there was something else going on with the brother and sister there that they weren't alluding. You know, they didn't really dive into very much.
That's what confused me.
Yeah.
Were they in a threesome and then, like you say, they are brother and sister?
I
It's weird.
I just took it like that they were both. You know, they both were sharing Bridget LaHaye. You know, but I don't know. So,
You never know with Franco, like
Yeah.
what his intentions were really, but it's
one
never
of the best-
explained.
one of the best scenes, man. I just got to show this right quick. Is she hires a gigolo
Yeah.
to come get it on with her lover or whatever. It's
That's a
disfigured.
great scene as well. Yeah.
So,
Asshole!
Yeah, man, good. That's disgusting, baby. That's disgusting.
yeah, man, it's got some good shit. The weirdo mute dude, you know, like with the machete and the chainsaw and the drill. I mean,
Gordon is his name as well.
He's like,
he's weird looking, isn't he? He's got something.
He shaves
he
his
got no
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's a scene that I went back and watched, and I was like, did I miss something here? Right. So there's a scene where Bridget LaHaye and Carolyn Monroe's character get into it, and she starts choking Bridget LaHaye or whatever. And then Norman or Gordon or whatever the hell his name is comes out there with a machete, chops Carolyn Monroe's arms off, and then seemingly fucking kills her.
No, that's a different.
That was
somebody
a
else
different
in a
character.
different cell.
Yeah, well, not
I thought
Betty.
that was-
Is it
I thought
Betty, the character that was?
I thought it was Carolyn Monroe's character who did that too.
No, because you notice how they got all these beautiful women in these different psychiatric.
So there were two brunettes. I thought the rest of them were like blonde or something.
Yeah.
I was confused. I had to go back and rewatch it as well because I was complete. Because some of the women, like you say, look the same. But I'm
The only
sure
reason I know for sure is because I was doing the intro and I did clip that scene, so it's a different chick. But
Ain't that the girl they pick up
does
from
get
the
confusing.
nightclub? One of the girls. They pick up a few.
I
don't
swear,
they, in the
I
nightclub?
thought for sure it was Carolyn.
chop
Right.
her arms off.
I can
No,
see why you.
That's
got
just
that.
some other person that's in a straight jacket. She jumps up,
Okay,
strangles her and
Okay.
shit. But
I got you.
But yeah, I thought you were talking about the end when I thought you was alluding like what's going to happen at the because it kind of just ends, right? Like
Yeah.
but I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who hadn't seen it. But
There's an actress as well that actually plays herself in this as well, called Florence Gurin. I've seen her in a couple of things. I think she's in a French film called Knife Under the Throat, which is like a giallo.
yeah,
But yeah, the cast is amazing, like all the way through. I like Helmut Berger as well.
Helmut
He's
Berger,
like a really
yeah.
creepy, like doctor.
and Helmut Berger.
What
wanted-
else was he in? He's familiar looking.
Oh, he's been in the
He's in the
Bloodstained
Bloodstained
Butterfly.
Butterfly. Yeah, that's the one I remember.
He's been in Salon Kitty, the Tenno Brass movie.
Okay, I think I've seen that one.
He was a homosexual. He was having a big affair with one of the. Is it Bertolucci or maybe one of the Antonioni or one of the big Italian directors at the time, and that's why he kind of got where he did in films. You know,
He was
He's
in
basically
Dorian
stupid.
Gray.
Yeah, that was his big
Dorian
one, I
Gray,
think.
Massimo Delamano.
Yeah.
There's
He's
another
got-
actor that I think he reminds me of, and I looked it up on here. He was in Blame It on Rio. I think he's an American actor though, around the same age. Joseph Bologna was the guy's name. You
Okay.
need to look him up.
Baloney.
Joseph
Bologna. He was in Big Daddy as well. I think he was Adam Sandler's dad in Big Daddy. Looks almost identical, the same actor, but
But
evidently
Helmut Berger-
different person.
He wanted to do a erotic scene with Bridget LaHaye,
Yeah, I bet he did.
but Renee Chateau, the producer, he was like, "Nah, hell no."
He does do one or two like scenes in it, but like I say, he's homosexual, so he wouldn't have got no thrill out of it at all. Like
He might have been bi or something. I don't know.
he does do the introduction on the Blu-ray for the Bloodstained Butterfly, right? And I'm no word of a lie, right? The guy looks like he's on his deathbed, as he's saying, he's barely coherent when he's like introducing the film. So I like, as you do, I looked up and like he literally died like not long after he did it. But you could tell on screen, like there was some kind of abuse, I think, going on, like drug abuse or whatever. Which is quite sad, But he did, yeah. I think he slapped his way to get most of the success he got. But he's in this documentary, right? They made this documentary about him a few years back, and he's actually masturbating on camera in this documentary. It's crazy. I remember telling Dirk. Yeah.
What's the name of that? I'm gonna make sure I don't watch that.
Come on.
I do mention the name of it when we covered the Bloodstained Butterfly. So if anyone wants to go back to that stream and find out, or you can just do a quick Google. But yeah, it is actually out there, which is crazy, man.
But yeah, man, this is a wackadoo ass movie though.
Oh man, it's great. Yeah.
Helmet Burger, boys. Yeah, it's a wild movie. It's a lot of fun. It may be to date my favorite Jess Franco movie. And I haven't watched a whole lot of them. But as far as just being like it's pretty much just a straight up horror movie, kind of. I had fun with this one. I enjoyed it. Power drills to the head, and
that's a great scene. Yeah.
The face transplant thing's really well done. If you're in it for the effects and everything, there's a lot of cool stuff here. The scissor scene.
Plenty of sleeves. You got the one line where he says, "You still got that butterfly in your right thigh," or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just some. I was listening to Stephen Thrower talk about how clever of a story this is. I was like, okay.
Oh man, I like Stephen Thrower, but even some of the shit he comes out with, man. Like the film,
clever. Holy shit.
CK covered, and Uncle Bill covered a film called Axe not long ago.
Oh yeah,
and like he talks about that Stephen Thrower as if
that's one of his favorites, I think. Right,
masterpiece like Halloween or something.
Right.
But yeah, man, yeah, I like Stephen Thrower, but he's far out there.
Bridget LaHaye though, I think she does a pretty killer job in this. She may do the best job of anybody in the movie, actually.
And I think the film's centered around her, really. If you think, she's almost in every scene, damn near.
How old was she in this film, do you think? Because we seen Fascination a few weeks back, and I was 81.
Yeah.
So she must have been well in her 30s.
She was born in 55. So
it would have been like 32 or so, 33.
And was she really active in the porn scene at this stage? Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Look at her filmography. If you look at her filmography,
she never left.
She does. You'll see like the Jean Roland films. You'll see like one, and then you'll see about 20 pornos, and then she'll do another like mainstream film, and then it'll be like a bunch.
And that's like full on hardcore, is it?
Yeah, hardcore and sexploitation, erotic type films too. But
right, I'll have to go back and watch some of them, but.
She had to start on those really, really young too, right? Like,
yeah, man. I
early
did see 20s. That. We were covering her not too long ago. I think her first film, she was like 15 or something. It's crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but that's
some of those
France.
older pornos are hard to watch.
Though, in different in France, I guess.
Yeah, I think French is a lot more. They're not as conservative as the U.S. at all. When it comes to that sort of thing, especially back then.
Right.
Germany's the same. Anything goes in Germany, like scat porn and you name it.
Which I think that's kind of how she got semi-successful, mainstream movie run over there. Just because people weren't so uptight about it, I guess. But yeah, she couldn't. Here in the U.S. and everything, it just didn't work out as well, I don't guess.
She's still actively doing conventions, though, in America, I hear. So I know Dirk wants to go and meet her, didn't you, at one point?
Yeah, I could have met her. I seen her. I wasn't very far away from her, but...
oh, man, I think I would if I was ever...
I just think it would be odd to meet somebody like that, though, too.
She had a book. She's got this big book, and it's got, like... and she's completely naked on the book. She was signing them,
Right.
Has she aged well? Like,
Yeah,
looks
I mean,
wise?
she still looks good for her age. I mean,
Okay.
of course she's in her 70s now, so
Yeah.
or close to it. Might be 70, but
Born in 55, so yeah, she's very close to being 70.
yeah. But yeah, I love Bridget Leigh though, man. I know you don't. I think Darren, he don't care for like the Gene Rollin stuff, but
Not really. I mean, I like Grapes of Death, but that's about it, I think.
Fascination, she's off the rails in that one. But
Didn't he do, what was that zombie movie that he did? We always made fun of it back in the day. Zombie Lake, wasn't that Gene Rollin?
Not Zombie Lake, is it?
no, that's Franco,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, right. I always get them mixed up.
Yeah.
He did do a zombie film though.
Yeah, he's done some. Yeah, he's
Like a
Living Dead
Nazi
Girl.
zombie. Yeah.
Oh, Jess Franco did Zombie Lake?
I think so. I believe so.
Hmm.
I could be wrong on that.
I don't know. I get mixed up.
I know Jess Franco did Oasis of Zombies. I don't know if we get mixed up with that, but
Right.
Howard Vernon.
that guy's crazy as well.
Yeah, he was in this too.
He turns up. He was in French Sex Murders. He was in Zombie Lake, obviously, as well.
He was
got
in.
Anton.
He's also in the what is that? The Iguana with the Tongue of Fire.
It seems like he's in like all kinds of shit. Like,
yeah,
it's almost like a Forrest Gump of Italian and Spanish horror movies.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
As well.
Yeah, somebody, Davey Collins, saying Zombie Lake was Rollin. So.
Oh, that movie's a gigantic piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it's in a great way, though, isn't it?
It does look, yeah.
Go on. I was going to say there's two versions where there's you get naked women in the one version, and then you filmed it twice, the scenes where they're covered as well. It's crazy,
you can crystal clear see your butthole.
It's probably on Troll 2 level badness, I'd say.
Yeah, the zombies in that look kind of like the Jolly Green Giant or whatever. They're like almost neon green.
Yeah, and because one of the zombies got this little girl for some reason, and none of the time works out right for the film. Like, it's just all over the place chronologically.
I haven't seen Zombie Lake. What is that? How old is that?
81. That was made.
Yeah, it's like early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing what you think about it. I don't know if
We've gotta
anybody actually likes it, but
yeah, we've got to do it at some point, I think.
You do get to see a naked woman swimming around in a lake underwater for an extended period of time, and you can clearly see her butthole. So that'll be a selling point for some people.
Right.
What's the Nazi one we seen with Peter Cushing recently? I'm trying to remember.
That's Shockwaves.
Yeah, this kind of got that similar storyline, really, with the Nazis coming out of the water and
yeah, Nazi zombies. The best Nazi zombie film you ever see.
That one's in 4K now. I think didn't Blue Underground do a 4K of that?
Did they? Okay.
I think so.
I got the Blu-ray of it. Looks good enough. I probably won't upgrade.
I don't think you need to see that.
I'm done with upgrading some of it. Like, okay, the Sleepaway Camp movies are coming back out on Blu-ray. Yeah. I never did get the old Blu-ray. I got the damn DVD of it, and I'm fine with the DVD of it.
Yeah, a lot of these films, I'm good with the DVDs, for sure.
Especially the slashers. Yeah, some of the Italian stuff I think needs to be seen in high def. But some of the old slashers like the Predator and all that, I'm good with the DVD.
Yeah, if it's for me, if it's something that I really like and I don't have, I didn't have it on Blu-ray or anything, I'll get the 4K. But I can't see the Sleepaway Camp sequels ever looking great. I just can't. Maybe I'm wrong, but in movies like that, yeah, you said the Prowler and Scream Factory's re-releasing everything in 4K. Who really gives a shit? I
mean, there is a community of people that do though.
Evidently.
We know
let's hurry and rebuy it. It's coming out again on Blu-ray or 4K.
I don't know about you guys, but I haven't even the Friday the 13th, I've got the whole Scream Factory box set, and that's good enough for me.
Oh yeah.
But now Paramount are doing this box set where you can get part 2, which is a big con anyway.
Yeah.
And people are just buying it up, man. And
Just for that, yeah.
Just for that. And there's no extras any different from what I presume.
It's
I mean,
like
I can't
kind of
do
like
that,
collecting
man.
comic books and baseball cards.
It is. It is. And Arrow is doing, they did the Friday the 13th remake in 4K.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I don't hate that movie either. But how many fucking times are you going to go and rewatch the Friday the 13th remake?
Yeah.
I
in
don't
4K.
particularly like
I
it.
didn't buy it. I mean, there's,
I tell you
And
what,
the-
I did buy recently from Arrow. I got the Exorcist 2 come in the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love that for all the wrong reasons. Like, it's just so fun. Like that. I thought you
dress
can't
up as
do
the Locust King for
yeah.
Halloween this year, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Davey
I can't
Collins
wait
said,
to actually see what they do with it, actually.
Davey saying, just walk into a gym bathroom that smells like cat shit and armpit. Right as CK said, clearly see her butthole.
You can. That's a good selling point for Zombie Lake. Maybe the only selling point.
You got Mechanic Kong in here? What's going on, man? I
Hey,
tried
what's up,
watching
man?
the F-13 remake, didn't finish. Okay.
Of all the
I'm not a fan, man.
of all the Platinum Dunes remakes, that's probably the best one, but that's still not saying a whole lot.
I don't mind the remake of Friday the 13th, but I just can't never wrap my head around like TCM remake. That just.
Oh man, that's terrible. TCM.
No.
But yeah. I mean, we've probably exhausted that conversation.
Yeah.
At this
No,
point.
people, for some reason, there's a lot of people that love that, and I've never understood it.
I do like a couple of remakes. I do like the Hills Have Eyes and the House of Wax ones, but I am very picky when it comes to remakes. The Fly obviously is a good one too.
I like the House of Wax one. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. But man, anything else you want to add to the Faceless? You got any crazy ass side notes or anything there?
I think we pretty much touched on most of the stuff. Yeah.
I liked it though. I had fun with it. Faceless. High recommendation. I think Severin has the 4K and the Blu-ray out, which I had the Blu-ray version somewhere.
I got the,
I have, yeah.
I wish the 4K, but I
should have got the slipcover, but I didn't. I wish I did now.
I got the 4K, but I don't know, man, if you really have to get that 4K. I mean, really, from,
Yeah.
No, it's the same as what we just mentioned. You don't have to get everything, I don't think.
I got
But
it. I bought it because it was cheap enough, I mean, I probably should have just bought the Blu-ray at this point, too, but whatever.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, if you didn't have the Blu-ray, I can understand it. But yeah, I mean, rebuying stuff over and over again, like I don't have room. So a lot of the times with me, it's like I'll wait until it goes on sale, or I'll just get a digital copy somehow or something.
It's like this. I just did a watch along with the old J Reel basket case.
Yeah.
So I bought this for $20 off Orbit. That's the trilogy. Second Sight put it out. Blu-ray, good enough.
I mean, you don't mind doing it.
Skipped on that 4K, but
A 4K. Let me tell you something too. Like a 16 millimeter movie, like basket case, or even like the original Hills Have Eyes. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I have a 4K of that, and I swear to God, man, there is not a gigantic difference between the Anchor Bay DVD versus that 4K. And the Anchor Bay DVD is like 25 years old. So a lot of these older movies, it's just, they're just trying to milk you of your money is what it is, more than anything else.
You getting that TCM, the big TCM set?
Not unless if they send it to me for free, I'll take it, but I ain't paying $300 for it. They can kiss my ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Would you pay $50 for it though? It dropped down to $50.
I think everyone would pay $50.
But I don't know if I would, because I just don't have it.
I think eventually it will drop down quite a bit. I don't know if it'll drop down that low, but
might get it half price or something. But,
Dark Sky Films seems like that's the only thing that they really release is Texas Chainsaw Massacre over and over and over and over.
So
That's a great addition. The 4K of both of those. The second sight one's slightly better, like transfer wise, but they're both like that's a rare. I think that one was shot in 16 millimeter and blew up to 35 millimeter, but they spent a fortune remastering that, and it does look great. But most
I
of these
just
other
got the
movies,
Hitcher in as well, like the big.
I did too, man. I need to set aside some time to watch that.
I messed around and ordered the Hitcher from Orbit. And you know how you do the 3 and you get the shipping free? Well, I screwed up. I ordered Torso 4K. That ain't what's holding it up. What's holding it up is the damn Mario Bava I Vampiri. So I got to wait until that shit.
Oh, when's that come
That
out?
sucks, man. Don't they say they should just send them as they get them? Like even
October 28th
individually.
is street date on it.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Sorry, I can't get finished. But it's all right. You know, I'll get it eventually.
I mean,
like,
I did upgrade Torso. That is my one
Yeah,
exception.
I
There's
had
a
to
few
get that one.
exceptions to the rule, but yeah.
Yeah, I checked out the Torso 4K. That's a solid one for sure.
Yeah. I saw the review. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I say if y'all interested in some Spanish horror, check these out. You know, I don't know how everybody likes the Gothic. I like the Gothic quite a bit. Paul Naschy is not exactly
Thumbs down, Paul Naschy.
perfect Gothic, I guess you'd say, but it's fun as hell. Anguish is very original. I don't think there's another film like it. Even though there's films that are in that same vein, I don't think there's anything like Anguish out there.
Would you put Anguish over Faceless though? Because I would. I think Anguish is the best one out of the three.
Yeah, Anguish is by far the best of these three, for sure. And then Faceless is just a fun ass, sleazy ass.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
One of the better Jess Franco movies too. I got to say that I've seen. I mean, most of his stuff is, and there are aspects of this too that's softcore porn kind of. But I mean that was mainly what he was known for. At least most of the stuff that I've seen of him is like gratuitous, and ain't nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed that. Lorne and the Exorcist.
Yeah,
enjoyed that one too. But yeah, this one it's more mainstream and horror, and I think the majority of people probably dig this.
I think so, man.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a main look once a year kind of watch. But
I think I'd give it 6.5, something like that out of 10.
for Faces,
Yeah, it might go up to a 7 on a rewatch.
I'll give it a 6, man.
I'd go 6 as well, solid 6.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more, but yeah, it's as far as Jess Franco goes. Hey, this is one of the better ones that I can recall that he did. That I've seen at least.
But yeah, man. I guess we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Sorry, I was I didn't go through the chat like I usually do, but we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody coming. Hit the like button, sub up,
fondle it.
Yeah,
fondle the like button. make it moist, if you will.
I see Jimmy said love Gothic like Hammer horror, and that's too. I think that's what Paul Naschy's kind of going for, in that it's very Hammer-esque in a way,
right?
But yeah, man. Appreciate everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
See you guys.